Symposium is the end of work as we know it. And joining us this morning is Kareem Cunningham, Disbursement Officer of the Business Development Unit of the THA, and Jason Arthur, events host. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
A pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us again. It's a pleasure to have you, and a critical conversation that we do need to have because, of course, AI continues to trend throughout the world. I think one of the first things that we really need to uncover is what inspired the creation of this symposium, particularly the choice of the name, and why now? In fact, for both of you. So, Kareem, we'll start with you.
All right. So, excellent question and good morning. So the business development unit have been for some time pushing this idea of digitization and also automation. In the fiscal year 2023 to 2024, we did a series of discussions with our entrepreneurs in the space, the Tobago space, alongside Karen Rose. And then we ended off last year with the business conference where we had Dr. Atz and we had Keno Cox and also Ian John, who spoke about cybersecurity, and also they spoke about automation and innovation. And so we have been in this space for a while now, preparing our entrepreneurs and the entire Tobago diaspora to move to something of artificial intelligence, embracing artificial intelligence. So when the idea came to us through our secretary Councillor Petala and Roberts, we were, ready to fire on all cannons. We were excited that she have chosen Mr. Jason Arthur to run this program, right, through the Tobago Chambers, to the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Commerce Chamber, so that we could collaborate, because our clients are basically the same entrepreneurs in the Tobago space. And so we are excited to launch this program. It's going to be something different. It's the elephant in the room that no one really wants to talk about, but we are going to engage on this uncomfortable topic. All right. So, thank you for the question.
Let's bring Jason into the conversation. Jason, good morning again and welcome. How would you say, from what you've seen so far, AI is transforming businesses in Tobago, if at all?
Well, good morning again. At this particular point in time, I don't think that we can truly talk about AI transforming businesses in Tobago, not just yet. Part of the reason for this conference, or symposium, I should say, is to actually bring a certain amount of awareness. Now, we are going to have a couple of businesses there that are using AI, but at this particular point in time, nothing much is happening on the island as far as we know. And that's part of the reason for actually bringing this conference. Just to give a little bit of background, I know Mr. Cunningham sort of mentioned a little bit about it. I have a team of programmers. I'm a marketing consultant. I work with them to produce solutions for clients. And we started working with AI in November of 2023. And from the time we started working with it, I knew that the idea would be, certainly in Tobago, to bring a conference like this, where we actually talk about our findings, what we are actually doing, and how it can actually help Tobago businesses and businesses in Trinidad as well. So, as Mr. Cunningham said, we spoke to the Division of Finance and we threw the idea out to them. Last year, they did a symposium on innovation and automation, and this AI automation seminar is actually just a sort of a extension of what they started last year. So again, kind of sort of, off your question, but back to your question. No, I can't say that there's a whole lot going on, but we are hoping that after the symposium, people start looking at AI a little bit more.
Definitely getting the ball rolling, which is something that is needed, of course, as we see the global adoption continue. Jason, let's stick with you for a little bit more of this conversation. In your experience, from what you've seen so far, how can small businesses and entrepreneurs in Tobago take advantage of AI right now without particularly feeling overwhelmed or threatened?
So one of the things that we're going to talk about in the symposium is, where do you start with AI first? At this point in time, based on what I've been doing, I have sort of two approaches. The first approach is to find those areas in your business where you have these bottlenecks, these areas that you find the weakest link in your business. And if those areas are things that you can automate, and oftentimes they are, we can use AI as part of the automation process. And I say use AI as part of the automation process because sometimes you can do automation without actual AI. But oftentimes you will need AI to complete the process of the automation. So that's one approach, the weakest link in your business. The other approach is the approach where you look at freeing up the founder's time. One of the problems in a lot of small businesses, I would even say the bane of small business owners, is the fact that they are totally bogged down in the business. And oftentimes, there are a lot of things that they are doing in the business that can be automated, regular automation as well as automation assisted by artificial intelligence. So those are sort of the two approaches that we are taking right now with respect to businesses. And either one of those approaches can help a small business ease the burden of actually being a small business owner.
Kareem, let's circle back to you, mentioning, of course, businesses. Are there any upcoming related AI policies or initiatives that businesses and workers in Tobago should be aware of?
At this time, no, but all we can say that we'll be giving a lot of support. So through the business development unit, we'll be providing training, right, in preparation for something like this. We also offer grant and loan funding also for persons who want to upgrade in that sphere. So that's the support that we are offering at this time.
Jason, what are some common misconceptions about AI, particularly that this symposium will hopefully be able to debunk for business owners and individuals?
I think a lot of the misconceptions when it comes to AI don't even really have to do with business, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about. One of the misconceptions is that AI is going to take over the world, a la Terminator, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But with respect to some businesses, if we're thinking about misconceptions specific to business, I think that a lot of people think that AI is going to solve your business problems magically, and you're just going to install AI and it's just going to do everything for you. One of the things that we are going to talk about is, how do you actually use AI? After you have listened in the conference and understood that there's not a magic bullet, we will be able to dispel some of those notions that it is, a magic bullet. What I can say for sure is, sure, there are areas in your business where once you implement AI, I mean, it does feel like magic, but you have to be very careful about how you approach it. But I think, again, a lot of the issues or a lot of the myths and misconceptions are less focused on actual business implementation and more about how people through sci-fi movies have thought about AI up until this point. And I think we're going to deal with some of that at the conference.
Now, in light of that debunking and so much more, what would you say are going to be some of the key takeaways that hopefully those who attend will be able to have?
So the first takeaway is actually being able to distinguish between regular automation that has been around for years and years, and AI automation. A lot of people, when I talk to them, they see some complicated automation processes, and they walk away thinking that that's AI. That's one of the things that we're going to distinguish between or distinguish for people very early in the symposium. Another thing that we're going to talk about is, and I think we just sort of mentioned it, how do you implement AI? How and where and when in your business? So that's another thing. One thing we're also going to talk about is, what does it all mean? Ultimately, what does all of this AI talk and implementation and adoption, what does it mean? What does it mean for business owners? What does it mean for careerists? What does it mean for employees? What does it ultimately all mean? And how do we actually traverse this thing that is coming? One other thing that we are definitely going to talk about is trust. Trust in the age of AI. Trust is going to be, and is, I would say, a premium, but it's going to be even more so of a premium, because within the next 1 to 3 years, it's going to be very difficult looking at television, looking at something on the internet, and being able to know that what you're looking at is true as opposed to it being fiction. So trust is going to be a premium, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well.
The necessary discernment, of course, we need in this time. Kareem, final question for you this morning. Where can we get more information about the upcoming symposium?
Right, excellent. Well, you can visit the Facebook pages of the Tobago Chambers Division, and you will find information on how to sign up and register. Right, you can also visit the Facebook page of the Business Development Unit, THA, and there was also a link there for registration. Now, the registration is limited, right? A lot of persons have been signing up. So if you need to get on, you need to go to the pages now and sign up, right? Also, we want to tell you that it's on the 8th of April, right? The event will be on the 8th of April at the Straw Park Cultural Complex. It starts from 10 and run right up to 3 p.m. All right, so we hope to see you there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Kareem and Jason, thank you for joining us this morning. All the best, and hoping to see more of these symposiums taking place in our Twin Island nation. Have a great day.